Om Asatoma Sadgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amrutangamaya Om Shanti 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 Hari Om. O Lord, please lead us from unreality to the reality, from ignorance to the knowledge, and mortality to immortality. Om, peace, peace, peace. My dear devotees, we were discussing about Sister Nivedita's life. It is a beautiful life by itself. Why? Because it was with full of dedication, commitment for the noble cause. That is the reason for all of us it is a interesting for the study. Moreover, the clarion call given by Swami Vivekananda, whatever, so Sister Nivedita responded to it. And when you go to the different country, where different cultures, how one should work, how one should serve the country is the best thing known, can be known in the life of Sister Nivedita. She was so universal in her mind. She was always mindful, and she was always with her spirits than the details. That is the reason she was able to serve in India in spite of she was coming from foreign land. And you see, if you go to any foreign country, serving there is not that easy. And the people, the local people accepting you is really difficult and sometimes it is challenging too. And Sister Nivedita also felt that. Even sometimes we do feel that when we come to, we monks of Ramakrishna Mission, when we go to different parts of the globe, initially, yes, there will be some issues. Sometimes people won't accept us or we don't understand them sometimes. All these things, it will take time. And there is a big shift, paradigm shift in all our minds. And same thing we see in Sister Nivedita's life. In my previous classes, when she was nurtured in the hands of Swami Vivekananda, her guru, how she had to change her mindset, how she had to think about India, how she had to know about India, Indian culture, Indian customs, one side. The other side, how the British people exploited the India and Indians. All these things she was able to understand. In true sense, slowly, in due course of time, she was becoming Indian in the true sense. From the spirit point of view, the Vedanta doesn't believe that in any conversion, a Christian should become Hindu, Hindu should become Muslim, Muslim should become Christian, living our religion, living our faith. No. Having our faith, we should always accept all other religious faiths, principles, spirits, and we can go together. We should go ahead together. That is the spirit of Advaita Vedanta or the Vedanta. And the same spirit has been told by Swami Vivekananda and Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. And the same principles are told also in the Ramakrishna Mission or the branch of Ramakrishna Mission, that is Air Vedanta Society. Here, anyone can come, irrespective of culture, irrespective of caste, irrespective of creed, irrespective of religion, irrespective of country. Anyone can come here and they are welcome here because we believe in universality. So, even Sister Nivedita was also exposed to that universality under the guidance of Swami Vivekananda. And one more experience for her was her interaction with Holy Mother Sri Sharda Devi. And who is Sri Sharda Devi? She's a great lady, a spiritual consort of Sri Ramakrishna. And this, if you see the life of Holy Mother, she comes from a poor rural background, village background. She never had any schooling. But when these people or the Western ladies they went with all love, with all affection, with all simplicity, Holy Mother Sharda Devi, she welcomed Sister Nivedita, our Sister Christine, and all other things. And with her love and with her spiritual personality and with her magnetic personality of Holy Mother Sharda Devi, Sister Nivedita was impressed. And she beautifully portrays her experience of Sister Holy Mother Sharda Devi as goes like this. Sister Nivedita tells, to me, it has always appeared that she is, means Holy Mother is Sri Ramakrishna's final word as to the ideal of Indian womanhood. But is she the last of an old order or the beginning of a new? In her, one sees realized that wisdom and sweetness to which the simplest of women may attain. See, these are the two catchwords, wisdom and sweetness. See, the both should go hand in hand. Only you got sweetness, and if you don't have wisdom, what happens? Sometimes we become buffoons. We can become fools. People can play with us. And we have got a wisdom, and no sweetness is there, which is related to the heart. Then what happens? We are wise people, we are intelligent people, we are intellectual people, but the fellow feeling is not there. Compassion may not be there. Feeling for fellow feeling beings when it is not there, then it is just mere dry intellect, then it is not of use. So wisdom and sweetness, bhakti and gnana, both we need it. Love and knowledge, we need both. That's what Nivedita is seeing in Holy Mother. And yet, to myself, the stateliness of her courtesy and her great open mind are almost as wonderful as her sainthood. I have never known her hesitate in giving utterance to large and generous judgment, however new or complex might be the question put before her. Her life is one long stillness of prayer, you see. And Sister Nivedita just had started Bengali language, and she was speaking in English to Holy Mother Sharda Devi. And Holy Mother Sharda Devi, she doesn't know anything, even ABCD of English. She was speaking Bengali, but both of them were able to talk each other. Both of them, they were able to converse each other. Both of them were able to understand each other, our emotions. Why? Because of the love. When we have sincere love in our heart, when we have true love in our heart, then the language, the external language, it does not matter. That we can see beautifully or clearly in the life of Sister Nivedita with respect to Holy Mother Sri Sharda Devi. And Nivedita stayed for a few days with Holy Mother Sharda Devi, and her life or her routine was beautiful. She used to get up early morning, maybe 3, 4, 5 a.m., and she used to finish her ablutions and sit for japam and meditation along with the members of the house, and cleaning room and having a bathing. And afterwards, she used to continue her work. She was thinking to start a school. She wanted to contribute to the Indian education as her Guru Swami Vivekananda had told. She was thinking, how can I contribute? How can I start school? Where to start? How to start? She was thinking about to starting school for Indian girls, which was very important at that time, 100 years before. And evening again, she used to sit, Nivedita used to sit with the members, and she used to do evening prayers, and she used to do japa meditation and have a supper and a simple life. Means slowly, she was getting above the geographical boundaries, the cultural boundaries. She is trying to understand that country, and she's trying to understand their customs. She's trying to understand their thinking, and she's trying to imbibe all of them in her own way. That was the thing which we felt, which we can see very clearly in Sister Nivedita. Instead of feeling her suffocation in all these things, she started understanding that how beautiful this culture is, and how old, ancient, beautiful, and how rational, and how it contains the spiritual vibes. This also she understood. Sister Nivedita understood in all these things. So Nivedita herself started acquainting with Indian thinking and Indian ways. And also, we should understand here very clearly that all the leaders of religion, either maybe Hinduism or Vedanta or Islam or Christianity or Buddhism or Judaism, all the leaders of these great faiths, more or less, they talk the universal principles in different way. They only express in different ways or with different languages, with the help of different languages, but more or less the same. We should love each other. We should never hate each other. We should help each other. We should, we should not have any envy or jealousy. We should come out from our boundaries. We should come out from our circumferences and we should mix with everyone. And we should love everyone's culture. We should love everyone's religion. We should love everyone's thinking and we should welcome all of them. This is what we mean universal human being. Now, the present day, the world has been converted to global village. So where we are staying in the global village, so we should also try to imbibe and accept all the culture, the best in the every culture, so that by assimilating that, we will become the best. And that's what she started, Sister Nivedita. And she wanted to she was always known for her creativity. Even we know that when he was in UK, when she was in London, she was making a lot of experiments in her education. She wanted to make so many experiments in education. So similarly, even here also, after understanding some Indian culture, Indian society, she wanted to make some experiments in Indian education system too, or in education in India. She felt that we should have universal ideas which can applicable to everyone, and there should be qualitative growth. Our education should not contribute, our education should not focus merely on quantitative growth, it should be on qualitative growth. So she started school with respect to that. November 12, 1898, she had a meeting where Swami Vivekananda, her guru, Swami Brahmananji, the first president of Ramakrishna Math and Ramakrishna Mission, the Swami Sharadananji, the general secretary of Ramakrishna Math and Mission, and some other householder disciples, that is Mahendranath Gupta, Suresh Datta, Harmohan Babu, and so many other, even some dignitaries had present in the Balram's house. And the Balram house is a house of a devotee by name Balaram. He was a great ardent devotee of Sri Ramakrishna. There Sri Ramakrishna had lived, stayed, Holy Mother had stayed, Swami Vivekananda had stayed, all the monastic disciples we have stayed, and so many householder disciples have stayed. So it is a great pilgrimage for many of the devotees of Sri Ramakrishna or Holy Trio. So they had a meeting, they discussed, and she proposed her ideas and she requested that I would like to start a school for Indian girls. I request the devotees among here, please to send your children. Now, whatever it may be, her ideas are very good, but since she's a foreign lady, people are not ready to accept her. They are thinking twice, thrice, whether should we send, what type of education she gives. It is very new thing she is telling. All these questions, so many thoughts are probably crossing over in the mind. Because if you start anything new, there will be a lot of repercussions. That's why any institution, when it is growing, or any person, when he is growing, he has to go through 3 steps. One is what? Repercussions or rejectance. Oh, you are not right. Institution is not right. You are not right. Institution is not right. This thought is not right. Rejectance. Either the society or people, they reject us. They reject our institutions. The second, if you go on continuing with the success, then the second is negligence. Okay, he's doing something. Okay, poor man, I'm allowing him to continue. Let him do it. So sort of negligence, neutral things will start by the people. And slowly, slowly, when we continue and when we are successful, more and more successful, when people start understanding, then they start acceptance. They start accepting us. So, because it was a new idea given by Nivedita, even many of the people were reluctant to accept these ideas. And Swami Vivekananda, the guru of Sister Nivedita, he was well aware of it. He instigates, or he, maybe instigate is not a proper word, he tells or he advises Harmohan Babu, or he inspires Harmohan Babu to say that, okay, you send your daughter at least. When Swami Vivekananda himself is saying that you send your daughter, then Harmohan Babu, he cannot say no. And for everyone's astonishment, and there was no reaction, and Nivedita was getting little felt uneasy. At this juncture, Swami Vivekananda himself, he stood up in the meeting and he says that, look, here is a person by name Harmohan Babu. He is ready to send his daughter to your school as a first entry. Now, this was a word which changed the mood of the entire scenario there, and also it was a great solace to Sister Nivedita. Why? Because the guru is giving a certificate for his student. Okay, you go ahead, I am here, I am backing you, my all blessings are there for you. And she was so happy, she felt blissful, and unknowingly, she started clapping that my guru's grace is there, my guru's blessings are there, then I don't need to bother. So that was the thing which Nivedita reacted. And slowly afterwards, people started sending their children, and the school went on well. On November 13th, and when this started, Nivedita had to start November 12th. They had a meeting 1898. We know that. The next day, which is on Sunday, November 13th, 1898, and that was the Kali Puja. On that day, on the Kali Puja day, Holy Mother Sri Sharda Devi herself had came and she worshipped Sri Ramakrishna and Mother Kali, and she invoked the blessings that let this school be a stage where many people, many students, many especially girl students get benefit from there. And imagine how beautiful the situation would have been. If we were there, probably you would have also experienced that blissful events. Who is with full of mercy, who is with full of compassionate, who is with full of love, such a great lady, a spiritual lady, Holy Mother Sharda Devi, she herself is doing worship, and she is blessing on the auspicious day, that's Kali Puja day or Deepavali day, that let all the blessings of Almighty our Mother be on you, on this school, so that let the school run in a proper way, in a good way, in a right way. And today we are seeing that it has taken over by Sharda Mat. Sharda Mat is an organization where the nuns, they live. Like we have got Ramakrishna Mat and Mission, where we monks live. With the same principles, we have got an sister organization, an independent organization called Sharda Mat and Ramakrishna Sharda Mission, where the youngsters, young girls, they join after their graduation and they lead a life of celibacy and obedience, and they are nuns. And they have taken over this Nivedita school and they're running in a beautiful way. And hundreds of girls are getting benefited even in Calcutta. Why? Holy Mother's blessings is there on that school. What a blessed event. And Nivedita felt so blessed. She felt, my life is taken care. I'm so blessed. Holy Mother herself came and prayed and worshipped and blessed me on the auspicious day. And that is on which day? That is Kali Puja day. So afterwards, when mother went back to her residence, Sister Nivedita followed, and Mrs. Bull, Ole Bull, and few other Western devotees also followed Holy Mother Sharda Devi. And Ole Bull, she insisted, Mother Sharda Devi, that we will take a photograph. For a long time, Holy Mother Sharda Devi, she was known for her modesty and she was known for her shyful nature. She never accepted you should take a photograph. Now, we may say, what is there? What is there fuss in taking photograph? But in the olden days, it was not so. People were reluctant to get the photo shots. They used to feel it is something. So that's why even Holy Mother was not interested. Holy Mother never said no. Holy Mother said no, and Holy Bull again and again, she was pressing Mother, please accept our request. Then finally Holy Mother asked, okay, why do you want to take the photograph? She says that I would like to take your photo, and since I'm going back to America, I will take this photo and I will keep as a remembrance, and also I would like to worship. As a devotee, when she asked that I would like to take back the photograph or portrait of you as a fond remembrance to the country, America, then Holy Mother acceded Volable's request and she said, okay. And when the photographer came to take the photo, because of her modesty nature, Holy Mother just bent her head side because she was not ready to see her face, give her face to the lens of the camera. Olden days, you can see where they used to keep and they used to put a blanket on that. They used to create the darkness and they used to shoot the photo. And she was not interested, first of all. Somehow, because of Volable's persistence, she agreed, but she was not able to see she was not interested or she was not ready to see the photo. She kept her face side and photo was taken. Even today, we can see that beautiful photo. And Mother went to trance. Now nothing can be done. They are waiting, they are waiting. And after some time, so they had given probably signal for the photographer, he was keeping ready. And after some time, when Mother came slowly, when mind came down from the trance and from her, she lifted and she wanted to see what is happening or what happened or what is happening. Just she raised her head and by mere luck, sheer luck, it is a divine's will, and the photographer took the photo or he shot the photo. And today, and the third photo was where Sister Nivedita is sitting with the Holy Mother, and the third photo was taken. It is very famous, we all of us know. Today, in all the shrines, in the devotee's house, as well as in the in temples or in the monasteries of Holy Trio, which portrait where we worship, that was taken during this time. Where because of Volable's persistence and Mother agreed, and by sheer luck she raised her head, Holy Mother raised her head, and the photographer shot the photo, and we are able to worship that photo, wonderful photo, which we all worship in our centers or in our house, in our rooms. And after Holy Mother's grace, next day onwards, she started the school. And the first, initially, she started teaching drawing or painting or art and clay work and stitching the clothes or sewing she started. But she says, Nivedita finds that the young girls are, though they were education was not given for them because for political reasons and social reasons, but when they got an opportunity, when she was teaching with Sister Christine, and the girls were so much interested in learning, and in no time they used to master the skills. Sister Nivedita was amazed and she was astonished to see the skills of the young girls of India. And she said that I am perplexed, I am astonished to see their interest and to see their ability to learn the things. And so she was impressed, and also she started teaching how to stitch the clothes and science, geography, maths, or language Bengali with the help of the local guy. All these things were started. And once Swami Brahmanji, I think, or other monks, they asked Sister Nivedita, this is very interesting for all of us, it should be that they asked Sister Nivedita, can you teach botany, physics, or physiology for the novices of Belur Math? By the time it was in Nilambar Mukherjee Gardens House, where it is next to Belur Math main campus now, where Holy Mother did our Panchatapa. Panchatapa is 4 sacrifice, 4 fire altars, and scorching sun, and below sand will be put, and she will sit dawn to dusk and she meditates. That is called Panchatapa. That is the holy place where Holy Mother did that penance. And Sister Nivedita was invited from the monks of the Ramakrishna Math and Mission's headquarters, that is Belur Math, that you take classes on science and and different subjects of science. For the novices, that is brahmacharins, they are going to be would be monks. And on Wednesdays, she took class on botany because botany was her great interest, Nivedita's great interest. So she took a class on botany, and also she taught drawing or painting for the monks or the brahmacharis or the novices. And on Fridays, sewing and physiology or physics classes were held, and it was welcomed well. And Nivedita used to feel very happy that I am able to take the class for the young monks of the Ramakrishna order or Ramakrishna Mutt and mission. Then slowly the country started accepting Sister Nivedita by seeing her dedication, by seeing her commitment, by seeing her heart, etc. etc. Slowly people started coming, accepting her. The Brahma Samaj, that is one of the movement, new movement, it happened in 18th century, started by Raja Ram Mohan Rai by person. They wanted to change, reform Hinduism in the modern context, in the modern way. So these Brahmo Samaj members, they invited Nivedita to give her ideas or to express her ideas on education. And she was a great educationist. And when she was in London, she had made a lot of experiments. And in India now, she's making experiments. And she had read a lot of educational views. And she started explaining, or she gave a beautiful talk on education. And the leaders of the Brahma Samaj and the local people also of the Calcutta, they were impressed by her ideas, by her knowledge. And afterwards, again, they welcomed Sister Nivedita in their society to take or to have the teachers training program. What beautiful. That means how society has started accepting Sister Nivedita, we can understand. One is they were impressed by her ideas on education, and now they have requested that, okay, you have a teachers training program, and we will get trained to teach in the schools. And she was happy, and she started every Saturday. She used to take the classes, or she used to have the training program for the youngsters. And parallelly, she is running the school also, girls' school. And one Miss Stall, I think, she was an American missionary school she was running, and she heard about Nivedita. After speaking with Nivedita, she was also impressed, and she requested that lady, she requested Sister Nivedita to come and teach history or to take history lessons, to give history lessons for the students, for her students. And Sister Nivedita again accepted, and she used to speak beautifully about history. She was a great lady, and she used to voracious reader, and she was a great student of history also. We can see when we read her books, Footballs of Indian History, Cathedrals of Hinduism. We have got a complete works of Sister Nivedita, which is in our library also, in a Vedanta Society library. People can come and browse it, and it is also available in the net. I mean, you can purchase. And one more, the beauty is, in Calcutta, there is a big hall, theatre called Albert Hall. So the dignitaries of the Calcutta, they invited Sister Nivedita to give a talk on Mother Kali. Now you think, Mother Kali, which has come from Indian God, she's a universal mother. For Indians, okay, it is acceptable. An Irish lady speaking about Mother Kali in India for Indians. How beautiful and how interesting. She gave again, it was a new subject. She had learned few things. She had few informations about Mother Kali from her guru, that is from Swami Vivekananda. But since now she had to give a lecture for a good amount of time, where the dignitaries, the great intellectuals of the society are coming, she had to prepare well. So she had prepared with the help of Swami Vivekananda, Swami Brahmananda, some other monks of Ramakrishna mission. She approached them, she took the information from them, she studied also a few books, and she made a wonderful preparation, and she gave a wonderful talk, impressive talk on Mother Kali. An Irish lady speaking on Mother Kali. And when after her speech, among them, one or two guys, Indian people, they never liked Mother Kali. It was all superstitious for them. So they rebuked Sister Nivedita, coming from the Western country. And how are you ascribing yourself for the superstitions? And again, there are a group of people, or one or two, who also supported Sister Nivedita's ideas and saying that no, you are right. Worshipping Kali is not superstition. Mother Kali stands for great universal truth. Unfortunately, people are not able to understand because she is having a long tongue, she's having a sword. It is not that she's a satanic, she's not a demonic. No, it is a universal mother. Actually, she is there to protect the people, she is there to protect the humankind. And she is full of compassion. Only when the people who are doing mistakes or blunders, for such people, after warning, even if they are not listening, who are threat to the human society, for them she will punish. So to show that she punishes the wicked people, the sword has given with the, I mean, the long tongue with a red thing and all. So it is not that she always slays the people, kills the people. No. So all these things were spoken, and Swami Vivekananda witnessed all these things, and he was very happy that slowly the society or the country is accepting Sister Nivedita. And because her talk was so impressive and it was famous, again in February 26th, in one more, a big theatre called by name Minerva, in the Minerva Theatre, people asked to speak about Youth Indian Movement. Again, you see, Youth Indian Movement. And again, she had to prepare herself. She prepared and she gave a wonderful talk, which were attended for a few hundreds. Few hundreds had attended that talk on Youth Indian Movement. And in March 19th, again, in the Belur Mutt, in 1898, that was the first time where they celebrated public celebrations. So what do we mean by this public celebration? Sri Ramakrishna's birthday is celebrated in the Belur Mutt or in most of our centers according to the Hindu almanac. Like we have got Gregorian calendar, just like that we have got a Hindu calendar also. So based on that particular Tithi or we say particular date, it has been observed. But every time according to Gregorian calendar, it changes. But because for the sake of public convenience, Swami Vivekananda made a rule that now if it comes on Tuesday or Wednesday, since it's a working day, many people may not be able to come. So we will have in spite of having a Jayanti or birthday celebration according to the almanac, the nearest Sunday, we will have a public celebration where all the people will come and they will have a joy, they can eat and they can sing and they can dance. I mean, dance in a righteous way, I used to say. All these things they let them have a fun that was a public celebration. Swami Vivekananda gave this new idea. Even today, we celebrate this public celebration in Belur Mutt in Calcutta, India. I think minimum 1 lakh people, that is 100,000 people visit on that day in the Belur Mutt. It has become a very famous event. And that started in 1898, March 19th. And Swami Vivekananda, the monks, asked Sister Nivedita to speak. And Sister Nivedita very gladly addressed the devotees and as well as monks on March 19th in the public celebration. So directly or indirectly, Swami Vivekananda is trying to push Sister Nivedita in the Indian community or in the Indian society so that everyone let accept. Then again, the Kaliga temple authority people, they were impressed by her talk on Mother Kali. They welcomed her to speak on Mother Kali and Mother Kali's worship on March 28th in Kali Ghat. Then what is this Kali Ghat and where is this Kali Ghat? The Kali Ghat is called Shakti Peeth. Shakti Peeth is where in India we have got 54 Shakti Peeths, where the Mother Sati Devi's a body portion, physically body portion has been fallen. Wherever it has been fallen, so that is converted as taken as considered as or worshipped as Shakti Peeth. In Calcutta, we have got such one Shakti Peeth called Kali Ghat, where Universal Mother is worshipped in the form of Kali. And today also hundreds of people are going, they worship, they pray, and many of their prayers or desires are fulfilled, are answered. And in the Kali Ghat, the temple authorities invited Sister Nivedita to speak on not only Mother Kali's worship. How beautiful and how interesting, you see. Again, coming from the Western background or going from the Ireland or London, she is trying to understand who is Mother Kali and how they worship Mother Kali and what is the significance of Mother Kali's worship. And she has studied and she had presented in a beautiful way, in an impressive way. All the Indians, they were impressed by her views, impressed by her knowledge, and also they felt that probably she's knowing more about Mother Kali than her. We all worship, no doubt, but she has got more knowledge about Mother Kali than her, than them. How? Why? Because it was because of Sri Ramakrishna's teachings, Swami Vivekananda's teachings, and also because of reading philosophical books. But unfortunately, at the same time, in the March 31st in 1898, there was a huge pandemic, just like we had a COVID pandemic, and still there are many people, doctors are telling we will have a fourth wave, etc. So, like that, there was a huge pandemic in India and especially in the Bengal. The pandemic was plague. Plague broke everywhere. A lot of people started getting affected by that, and people were getting, affected, and they used to die. And sometimes a village used to get deserted because of this plague. It was a huge problem. Then Swami Vivekananda gave a clarion call that now it is not that we should worship God only in the form of portraits or in the form of idols or in the just in the home shrine or in the temples. Every human being, every human being body is the temple of the God. So every human being is the representation of or is the symbol of living God. So by serving human beings, that can be the real worship or that is the fond worship for God. When people are getting affected by the plague, definitely we should serve. It is our prime duty. Swami Vivekananda gave a clarion call. Sister Nivedita, Swami Shuddhananji and Swami Sadhananji, other brahmacharis, monks, some devotees, all of them, they joined and they started serving the patients. First and foremost, like Swami Sadhananji, with the help of some youths, he started sweeping the roads of every slum and every part and nook and corner of the Calcutta. For larger part, how much as possible? Calcutta is a very big city. As much as possible, every day they started sweeping the roads, every road of the city. And some houses where it was affected, and they were taken care, medicines were given, food was served, and also sometimes if it is affected, to check the infections and all, they used to do whitewashing or they used to put a lime paste on the houses. All these things were they started doing. Monks, brahmacharis, Sister Nivedita, and some devotees, day in and day out, they started. But she is addressing so many lectures, she is giving so many lectures. Now she became the secretary of that plague committee, and she is doing day in and day out. But in spite of all these things, she is also trying to run the school also parallelly. That was a beauty. See, these people, they never come for rest. They always come to serve the mankind, to serve the humanity. And in her diary, we can come to know that many times, because from dawn to dusk, morning to evening, she was busy in serving the people with multifarious activities and guiding the people. When she come to her house or residence in the room where in the Bosapara lane, it was in Calcutta, she used to feel tired. But still, she never used to keep quiet. She used to prepare appeals, and she used to take and go and take at the evenings probably classes for the children, girls, children. All these things she used to do day in and day out. And sometimes there was a financial problem also. And she had a very simple meal. She used to have daily milk and fruits only. And she had a less income also. She had a very less financial glitches she had. And once she observed that an old widow is suffering from the wants of funds, so she stopped taking milk. Why? Because whatever the money she used to spend for purchasing the milk, let that money go to that widow, old widow, so that she will be able to procure or she will be able to purchase the medicines and she'll be able to take care. Just she used to have milk and fruits, nothing else. And because to support the old widow, she stopped taking milk. She used to only consume fruits, and whatever the money she used to use for to purchase the milk or procure the milk, she started giving for the old widow. Such a magnanimous heart she had. So much compassion, so much love for the people. And she also prepared a appeal, and it was published in very standard newspapers in English then. by Dr. Cook. He was a health officer, British health officer. He heard about Ramakrishna missions work, welfare activity, or plague the work service. He came personally and he wanted to witness and he wanted to know whether it is true. And he came and he saw very systematically, so beautifully, well organized manner they were serving. He was so much impressed. And he also sent a beautiful letter to Sister Nivedita since she was secretary. I am amazed and I'm impressed by your systematic, beautiful organizing skills and as well as service attitude activities. Thank you. And he sent a beautiful letter. And that time, 50 rupees is not a small amount. He sent a 50 rupees payers check also to Sister Nivedita as his humble contribution for the plague's victim. And then he also, the British officer, Dr. Cook, also had sent a, I think, message for the health department. You people should learn from this Ramakrishna Mission's welfare service, how these people are doing with Sister Nivedita, how systematically they are taking care of the patients. Please, you go and learn. So some health officers, they came and they tried to discuss with the Sister Nivedita and the monks, what are they doing, how they are doing, and how they are able to do all these things. But one side, all these things are going, but it is not easy cakewalk. One is that because since many people are getting affected, there's a lot of phobia, there's a lot of fear. And of course, it's a fact also. Many youngsters or many volunteers are reluctant to come. Why? Because they may get affected by the plague and their life may be in danger. And second thing, okay, these monks, they don't have any work, so probably I expect they're doing all these charitable activities. Why should we do? We should take care of ourselves. And they're doing all scavengers work, sweeping, mopping, and cleaning the excrete of the patients, all these things. Oh no, we are not supposed to do all that. There were a class of people, group of people thinking that. And they used to laugh at Nivedita, they used to laugh at monks doing all these charitable activities or philanthropic activities, service activities. But our monks and Sister Nivedita, they were consistent in serving. Then slowly, the society started understanding the greatness and uniqueness and significance of this worship. And slowly the community, youths and especially, they started joining the hands with the monks and the brahmacharis and with Sister Nivedita. Now they started slowly. There was no problem with the now labor, physical labor, enough strength they have got. But now the big problem was money. Now they approached monks and devotees, they approached Swami Vivekananda. We have put an appeal, no doubt we have got some donations also. With the help of donations, till now we were able to continue our charitable activity, serving the patients, no doubt. But now, because of lack of funds, probably it will be difficult for us to continue the service activities. What to do? Please guide us. So Vivekananda said, if that is true, just we have purchased few acres, 6 acres of land for Belur Much Monastery, isn't it? In the Belur village, let us sell that. And whatever money we get, let us try to serve the people. We monks, we can stay anywhere. Even we are ready to, we are servants of Sri Ramakrishna. We can stay anywhere. We can stay in the shade of the trees. What does it mean? We will do it. And everyone said, okay, now since Swami Vivekananda is saying, probably we have to do it. And probably they were also ready. But God's grace, or Sri Ramakrishna's grace, that the flow of funds, again it started, and they got enough funds, and they successfully continued their service activities. And in a due course of time, the Calcutta, especially Calcutta and the whole of West Bengal came out, or it was saved from this plague pandemic. So when these service activities were introduced, the whole society started thinking, started viewing, seeing differently Ramakrishna Mission or Ramakrishna Math. Oh, they don't only preach, they don't only speak. Whatever they speak and whatever they preach, they are putting into practice. Oh, Vedanta says that in everyone there is a divinity. Everyone is a son of God. Either he or she, all of them are son or daughter of God. They are the part and parcel of God. They are all God, we say. They are all divine beings. Amrutasya putraha, the Upanishad says. So they don't give only discourses. When it comes to the situations, they put the Vedanta into practice. So they understood that. So either in any part of the globe, the Ramakrishna Mission is trying to put this Vedanta into practice, trying to see the divine principle, divinity in everyone, and trying to serve. And when all the service activities, when she started doing and all, then slowly people started understanding, accepting her, and respecting her, and helping her. And handbills was also done to create an awareness about do's and don'ts, and so many other things were done. But still, in her mind, there was some hesitant. What will happen? At that time, an eyewitness, Dr. Radha Gobindakar, he wrote, I think newspaper or somewhere, about the plague pandemic service activity done by Ramakrishna Mission and also especially with Sister Nivedita. The quote goes like this. In the year 1899, plague took the form of an epidemic. In the previous year, at the indication of an outbreak of plague, the panically people, apprehending terrible consequences, had fled from the city. This year, the governor gave assurance that no patient would be forcefully removed from the home. During that time, one day, when I returned home at noontime, in the month of Chaitra, that is March April, after seeing the patients, I saw an European lady sitting on a dusty chair near the door. She was none other than the Margaret Noble, the Irish woman, which is popularly known as Sister Nivedita in India. She had been waiting for me for a long time in order to get some information. That morning, I had been seen a plague-stricken patient in a slum in Bagbaza, and Nivedita had come to inquire about the arrangements made for the patients and to take upon herself the task of nursing him. I told her that the patient's condition was critical. Having discussed with her the possibilities of hygienic nursing in the slums of the poor people, which is very difficult, I asked her to take precautions, and I gave a word of caution. But when I went there to visit the patient again in the afternoon, I saw Sister Nivedita sitting with the child in her lap in the damp and weather beaten hut in that unhealthy locality in the slums. Day in and day out, night after night, she remained engaged in nursing the child in that hut, thatched proof hut, having abandoned her own house. When the hut was to be disinfected, she took a small ladder and began whitewashing the walls herself. Her nursing never slackened even when death was a certainty. After 2 days, the child lay in eternal sleep in the affectionate lap of the merciful lady. The child passed away, no doubt, but for so many days, she served so much. She didn't go back to her house day in and day out in that slum area, in that locality with where a lot of dirt was there. Unfortunately, she stayed there and she tried her best to save this child. By this, the doctor Radha Gobindakar, he was impressed so much by the service activity of Sister Nivedita and about her universal mind, about her compassionate character. So this is what Sister Nivedita stands for. The Margaret Noble, an Irish lady who is the chief disciple of Swami Vivekananda. And we are all proud, we should be all proud that she comes from Ireland and she was great, she was a great lady, Margaret Noble, an Irish lady, Sister Nivedita, chief disciple of Swami Vivekananda. She dedicated herself for the service of mankind. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.